Let's bring in former special assistant to President Biden, Megan Hayes, and MS Now political analyst and Republican strategist Matthew Bartlett, who served in Trump's first administration. Welcome to you both. So, Megan, President Biden had some similar struggles getting his economic accomplishments across to voters, just like Trump now. What are you hearing politically and anecdotally? Are people really feeling the tax cuts? And do gas prices and inflation generally negate those refunds?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you're right. The Trump administration is facing a lot of what the Biden administration is facing. They're trying to tell people they don't feel how they really feel. And that's a problem because people go to the gas pump and they're paying, just in Arizona, where the president was yesterday, gas was $4.62. That's up over $1.60 from, before this war started in Iran. And so I think people are starting to question, why are our prices so high? And I don't actually think people are feeling the tax credits or any sort of tax refund because they're paying so much more in everything else. It's not impacting their daily lives. They're putting out way more than they're actually getting back in taxes.
So, Matthew, to that end, it feels like there is a disconnect between the administration and what people are really feeling. Scott Bessent, for example, saying Americans feel good about the economy in their heart of hearts. I mean, that is in direct conflict with polls, and it sounds like the administration is desperately trying to convince Americans to feel a certain way. It didn't work for the Biden administration, so why would it work now?
Yeah, precisely, Alex. We are well into the second year of this second administration. It seems that everything has changed but the economy, but these persistent challenges around affordability, cost of living, housing, and now, like you just said, gas prices. So this is politically dangerous for the Republican Party. And then beyond that, it is tone deaf for the president to come out. And our message to the public on the economy is, please thank us. We've done so well. No one wants to go to the polling box and thank somebody. They want to go for the future. And right now, this is just a rear view mirror that is certainly much rosier than when Americans, again, look in the mirror and face these everyday challenges. Everything has changed but this economy.
So, Megan, is this just the very same mistake the Biden administration made, trying to convince the public it's not as bad as you feel it is, guys?
I think it's a little bit different because I don't think Trump is actually trying to do anything to solve the problem. The Biden administration brought the cost down, brought inflation down by the end of his administration. So I think that Trump is creating more chaos. He's going into wars that the American people did not ask for him to go into. He's being really callous of the way he is treating the rise in gas prices and electricity. So that's the difference here. He's not actually doing anything to try to solve the problem. He's acting like he's above it and he's too good for it and he doesn't need to solve it. And you're just too dumb for realizing that he's doing you a good job.
Matthew, where a lot of this was said, is a Turning Point USA event the most effective venue to convince independents or disillusioned Republicans?
This is a pivot. We've had story after story that the White House is putting their thinking caps on and going to try to come up with a plan for the economy. Again, it's kind of shocking that we are so late and that they're only now getting to it. And this is now prepping for the midterms. I guess there's a big meeting at the Waldorf on Monday around midterm strategy. Clearly, the Talking Points USA, Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul, this was a big, massive movement in the Republican Party and around MAGA. And now, today, you're seeing that come together, but with many different fractures along many different fault lines. The economic, the war, certain cultural issues. So it is a persistent challenge. And then you saw Trump, again, kind of do a greatest hits. He was coming from Vegas. This was almost like an old Frank Sinatra trying to bring out all the hits, but they hit differently right now. And again, I'll recognize what Meg just said. There is no legislative agenda, no ideas on the economy that will either excite people or rally them, bring them out. So it is a very difficult challenge to try to bring this big tent back together now between the war, the economy, with so many fault lines that could only, expand as we head towards November.
Going to make a pivot here with you. Start with you, Megan. As the Justice Department opened an investigation into California Representative Eric Swalwell over the allegations of sexual assault. Now, Swalwell denies all accusations of misconduct while admitting mistakes in judgment and behavior in the past. This probe is in addition to those in New York and Los Angeles. So why did the collapse around Eric Swalwell happen immediately when others accused of criminal or scandalous behavior have stayed in office pending investigations? Has the tenor around accountability in Congress changed? And will this have a lasting impact on the Democratic Party, the Swalwell situation?
I really hope it has a lasting impact. The culture on the Hill is extremely toxic. A lot of people have known about Swalwell's behavior for a really long time, and that it's permeated through different staff and different campaigns that he's been on. So I hope it has a lasting change. But I think that Democrats were very quick to say, this is not acceptable in our party, which is the exact opposite of what Republicans did. And it just goes to show they are so afraid of their majority. They're not willing to throw out one of their own who clearly had ethical violations that would have caused him to be expelled. So I just think it's, Democrats are really quick to, or in this instance, were really quick to turn on Swalwell and to get him out because they knew it was the right thing to do. And also, you can't say the Epstein files and you can't say the president, his behavior is terrible, and not do the same for your own. So that I appreciate that they did not show hypocrisy here in the Democratic Party.
Last word to you, Matthew, relative to, does this change things for the Republicans as well? I mean, Tony Gonzalez, he's out this week, too.
Yeah, boy, I hope so. I mean, again, D.C. is a town. We don't make anything. Sometimes we hardly do anything. Powered on power, vanity, alcohol, Botox, just bad behavior. And it's not a wonder that the American people are no fans of this. And yes, there's hypocrisy on both sides. Everyone likes to point fingers. No one likes to look in the mirror. But boy, we need to clean up this town from the sexual abuse and assault to all the way to other ethics. It's a low point, and I think there's probably pox on both parties to some extent.